Hello guys, good luck replying to more comments today. So first off is TheBokkelul. It says, you finished DS2? Comma? Cool. Colon. Close parentheses. Dot. Also, hey Quake Live. You know, at this point, I think that you people are doing this on purpose just to see if I'm gonna read out all the weird punctuations that you make. Pretty funny and educational. I've learned, for example, that those things that you call parentheses are parentheses. I didn't know that's what you call parentheses. I always thought it was like the quote symbols, which I still don't know if they're called just the quote symbols or not. Somebody should like put random quote symbols randomly so I can figure out how they're pronounced and how they're called. Yes, I'm not gonna do it myself. You're gonna have to put it randomly in your comment. Yeah. But yes, I have finished Dark Souls 2. I assume that's what you mean. It's not like... I'm sure there are plenty of games that have DS. At least one more has DS2. DS2. Dungeon Siege 2, yeah, you know. And there's what he can stand for. He can stand for Dark Souls 2, Dead Space 2, Deep Space 2, which is not a game, so you couldn't really finish it, unless you think I work for NASA. Devil Survivor 2, Dungeon Siege 2, Darksiders 2, and Death Star 2, which is apparently a second Death Star in Star Wars. Yeah. Out of these, I have finished only Dark Souls 2. The rest I have not finished, or started, or seen, or heard. One of them applies to all of those things. Yeah, there's still a few videos left. I think not even 2 weeks and we'll be done. Yeah, it's got 2 weeks more left. In 2 weeks, Dark Souls 2 should be done and over with. At least the normal playthrough. I haven't decided if I'll do New Game Plus yet. We'll see about that when the videos finish uploading. Yeah, Quake Live. Total Biscuit made a video about it, and I saw the video and I thought, well, I wanted to try out Quake Live, but I always was too lazy for some reason. Now it's on Steam, I thought, what the hell? I'll try it out. And they also introduced some pretty awesome changes. Like, you get a little bit of a weapon set up at the start of a game, which frankly probably would have been a big deal for me. It's pretty funny to me that all FPS games come down to these days in competitiveness is fucking knowing the maps. I mean, I know that probably knowing the maps is like the very basic thing, but come on. That's like an absolute antithesis of what an FPS should be as far as I'm concerned. It has nothing to do with shooting, it has nothing to do with being limited in information because you're watching from a first person's perspective. It's a complete antithesis. Know the map. I find it pretty hilarious that that's how competitive games go. But hey, the changes that they made, they certainly made me interested in playing. Like, without those changes, I probably would have turned on Quake Live, played a few times, got killed by people with supreme weapons, and that's it. If I would play, I would just have to open up the fucking internet, Google the map, find where the fuck in the map are the fucking, like, rocket launchers or railguns. Yeah, that's how they're called, yes. And where the ammo for that shit is. Try to get there without dying to everybody, everywhere. Finally get my gun, and then just probably get insta-killed by somebody anyway with that gun, because I don't know how the fuck to use it. I don't think I would have liked the game very much, I'll be honest. No, it's alright, I can turn it on, I can play it every now and then, it's pretty cool, I don't need to know shit. That's good. That's how an FPS should be. You don't need to know shit. You aim, you shoot, you're done. That's FPS. if you want to add something else, make your own friggin' genre. Yeah. That's all I have to say. Alright. The next comment is also by TheBokkelul. Also, even though I enjoy the replies to comments videos and I agree that Google Plus is bollocks, I'd still advise you to just make a Google Plus account, as it would be much easier. They've disabled automatic comment sharing to Google Plus, so it won't let everyone look at all your activity. Even if you still don't want to link this YouTube account to Google Plus, you could make a new Gmail address and comment with that. Simply call it something like TheGoodlikeReplies or something. P. You could put in the video description that the account is actually yours and that the replies are legit. I see you thought this through pretty well, haven't you, TheBokkelul? But the thing is, I had something similar set up previously. Before they removed the old inbox, which still exists by the way, you just can't send messages, you can still read the old messages that you had from the past, but you can't send them anymore. What I used to do is I would create this Google Plus account called Good Likes Automatically Self-Destructing Message, and I would send this message. I don't know if I still have it. Yeah, there it is. This message will self-destruct in 24 hours. Message content. And then I set it up in such a way that when you post this message onto Google Plus, you have to click read more to actually see the message. You see just those two lines and read more. It's pretty funny. And the message I would say would be, hello there, you should probably take a look at your inbox. I replied to you there. Here's a direct link if you don't know where to find it. And it's https www.youtube.com inbox. And yeah, I would reply like this. I would send them an inbox message with my normal account, and I would then, in 24 hours, delete the entire Google Plus account completely. If someone wrote a message in between that 24-hour period, if it was like immediately, like in an hour or two, then I would just write the same message and change the timer into like 22 hours or something. I didn't like take the timer completely seriously or anything. That wasn't the point. But, you know, I found it pretty funny to do it like that, and like I said, I would delete it completely, the messages would disappear, but obviously the inbox stuff that I sent would remain. That was how I used to do it, but then they shut down the inbox. You can't send stuff through the inbox anymore. Now, I'm sure I mentioned this somewhere, but I just don't want to use Google+. You have to understand that yeah, I use Facebook, yeah, I use Twitter, but really I just have those accounts there because of reasons. There are reasons. I don't actually want to use them, and if I had the option of not using them, I would not use Facebook or Twitter accounts at all. I wouldn't have them. The reason I have a Facebook account is mostly because that's the only way I can talk to certain people. Some of my subscribers or friends simply do not have any other ways to contact me because they themselves don't use other stuff. I mean, they could use Twitter, but they usually don't, so that's why I have it set up so I have it there. I don't even look at my, for example, what's it called, like front wall or something? I don't even know how it's called. All I have open is my message boxes so I can exchange messages, the instant messenger thing. That's all I have open for Facebook. I never pretty much look at the main page. Just once every in a while when I have to open it when I restart the PC or whatever, that's it. And with Twitter, I made the account, but I don't actually use it. I just, what I do with it is basically I have set it up that all the videos that I upload would get linked into Twitter. I just wanted to try it out. That's the only reason I have it, and I'm just, you know, too lazy to actually delete it. But Google Plus is different. I never wanted Google Plus, and I never agreed to do Google Plus, and there's no one on Google Plus that I want to talk to. If they are there, they're usually always somewhere else, and they don't use Google+. So having Google+ to me is a complete waste of time. I don't want it. I don't care about it. I don't give a shit that it shows activity or doesn't show activity, links my videos or doesn't link my videos. I just don't care. I don't want it. I repeat, I wouldn't even have Facebook and Twitter if I had other simpler options to talk to people, but the people are simply not available elsewhere. It's just those are the popular ones where these people happen to look on occasion. In some alternate universe, maybe where Google Plus came out before Facebook, maybe I'd be on Google Plus and this would be a non-issue if I had been on Google Plus from the start. But the fact is, I was not on Google Plus. The people I want to talk to do not look at Google Plus, and from that follows very simple conclusion that I could not give a toss about having a Google Plus account. Now, if Google Plus was not enforced on YouTube, then it would be a different kind of conversation. Maybe then, you know, I'd be willing to look past the fact that I don't need it, just make it and forget and forget. Fine. But that is not the case. Google Plus was enforced on YouTube comments, and I don't like that kind of thing. It's like I talked about elevators in the previous video. I don't respect elevators, because they don't respect me. This is the same fucking thing. Google Plus doesn't respect me. I don't respect it either. So I'm not gonna use it. Instead I'll take the stairs, which in this case is making comment videos. If they break down the stairs, well, I don't know. Fucking have to learn how to climb on the walls or some shit. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. But yeah, I know it might be hard to understand, and I don't blame you, but this is how it is. I'm just telling you that there is just no way I would pick up Google Plus in the current situation the way it is right now. Something inherent should change about Google Plus for me to make an account, and until they make such changes, my answer will be no. Just no. I don't want to make an account on this channel or a separate account. Like, the most compromising thing, like I said, was I would make an account and then I delete it after a certain amount of time. I'm willing to do that, but there's no point for me to reply like that, because then my replies don't remain. I'd rather have those replies available for everyone to see, like right now. Imagine that I created a new Google Plus account and wrote this to you and then deleted it after 24 hours. What is the fucking point? Because I'm not gonna make an account and keep it. I just refuse to do that. That's all there is to it. Pretty much that. Yeah. Next comment comes from Pieter De Villiers. Why don't you lock on? Double question mark. Why? Why don't I lock on? Now, I talked about this lock on thing a little bit before, when Mr. Behold My Strength asked me. But now that I've been in it, I mean, like, I can give you a little more in-depth explanation that possibly makes sense. The reason I don't lock on is because I play on a PC with mouse and keyboard. If you don't know this, then keyboard is a digital device. You either press a button or you don't. And this button does a specific thing. Dark Souls normally uses, at least I assume, because I don't actually own one, but I get the basic idea behind a controller, which Dark Souls uses. And as you will notice, usually the directions on a controller are described with a analog stick. The difference between an analog stick and a digital button is that an analog stick has degrees of freedom. You know, you can easily adjust the angle at which you, for example, would dodge roll. I don't know if that is truly the case, because I Haven't owned a controller in my entire life. The only times I've used a controller was on PlayStation 1, and those PlayStation 1s didn't even belong to me. And for those who don't know, PlayStation 1 controllers, at least the ones that I used, and from what I knew, those were just the default ones back in the day, a long time ago, didn't even have analog sticks. The PlayStation 2 controllers had analog sticks, but the original PlayStation didn't have them. I don't know, maybe that's not the case and somehow they just happen to have these analog-less controllers, but you know, this is a blast from the past. It's not relevant today. Today, yes, there are analog sticks, and in theory they're supposed to allow you to dodge in the direction you want to on the games like Dark Souls. Even while you're locked on, you can just move sideways at a particular angle. You can't do this with a keyboard, because keyboard does not have an analog stick. Once again, it has directional digital keys. So I have 4 directions I can go in, and 4 more directions I can go by combining them. This is extremely limiting. I don't like to be extremely limited in my freedom of movement in action games. When I don't lock on, my movement can be easily readjusted, once again, at many angles as I want to with the mouse. I can turn my mouse to left or right as much as I want to, and then the direction I'm facing will be the direction I will be going to. It's still limiting to a certain degree, but not nearly as much. That is the reason why I don't lock on. I like to have the freedom of walking around wherever the fuck I want to, and have the capability of readjusting it when I have to by small degrees. This is one of the primary reasons why, for example, I dislike mountain blade controls. Because attacking forces you to move your mouse in certain ways, limiting how you can use it for camera and thus movement. That's why I always use the automatic aiming in mountain blade games. I dislike it. It's very cringy and it makes me just uncomfortable to play. Locking on has much the same effect. I don't like to lock on. I understand that there are situations in which locking on is definitely acceptable and even helpful. But I can sum them up in the following sentence. It is only against enemies that are multiple and against which you need to block that locking on will have any significant effect. If you do not need to block and you're not facing multiple enemies, you do not need to lock on at any point ever in Dark Souls. That's why I don't lock on. It's useless. I thought that locking on would be maybe useful against certain bosses, such as, for example, the Scorpion is a boss, the one that summons the tracking spell. But that's not the case, because I tried to avoid them while locked on, dodging and everything, and it just wasn't as effective as the plan that I had come up with when not locking on, which is to just run around her like a madman at a certain distance. It is just a much more effective way to do it. I'm sure that maybe you could run around her while locked on, but it would feel awkward, strange, and you wouldn't be able to see where you're going. You could easily get stuck. There's many reasons for which not locking on in that situation helps. Especially, you know, if you can handle your camera at least decently well. And with the mouse, that's easy. I've also mentioned a boss like the Smelter Demon. And the Smelter Demon, it is much easier to dodge things by just adjusting the direction of your dodge and dodging like directly behind him as you run towards them beforehand. If you're locked on, you can't dodge there, once again, with the keyboard controls. You can't do it. So you're very limited, and you're much more likely to get hit in the process. Or to have to, at the very least, do a lot more evasive maneuvers. I didn't need to do those maneuvers because I wasn't locked on. And I could get myself where I wanted with a single dodge, immediately get behind him, and I could start whacking on his back leg. If I had locked on, I would have had to dodge one attack, second attack, third attack, and then maybe hit him once if I still had any stamina or whatever. At the very least, to achieve that degree of accuracy that I had without locking on would have required a lot more effort and attempts. And it makes no sense for me to do that. And the final thing that really is hilarious to me is that every single person commenting on my videos just keeps saying that I don't lock on, but completely ignore the fact that I haven't used a single human effigy, or the fact that I didn't even find the Ring of Binding, which was pretty much at the start of a fucking game. Like, one person mentioned, just one person in a private message has ever asked me why I don't use human effigy. I don't remember if it was a private message, but basically I responded to him in a private message, so it could have been a comment as well. One person, and at least like 5, asked me why don't I lock on, even though there is no reason why locking on actually would help. It's hilarious that you think that locking on suddenly solves your issues. Yes, there are situations in which they solve issues. A good boss where it truly helps to lock on is the Ruined Sentinels when you're fighting the 2 Sentinels at the bottom. Locking on in that situation is very, very helpful and will most likely save your ass. A lot. But that's pretty much it. Like most other fights, it's not nearly as useful. And certainly not mandatory, as I have shown by pretty much one-shotting some of these fights, including the fight in the video that you've commented on. It didn't even come close to, like, being difficult. So yeah, I guess this should suffice as an explanation, so if any more people ever ask why don't I lock on without a different special wording which would imply something else that they want to know, I will abstain from replying to any more of these. Instead, I'll just point them to this video where I reply to Mr. Pieter De Villiers. I hope you're happy with my response. Moving on. The final comment of today is by Joe Daylight. I got a claim from a guy with a capital letter, called Streamer with a non-capital letter. This has a website, but it looks fake and doesn't look legitimate to me. Should I report this guy with a capital letter because he going around and doing this to others as well? Please reply. I don't know. How am I supposed to know if some random guy does things illegitimately or legitimately? You should ask the guy. Though probably he's just gonna say he's legitimate, but who knows? Maybe he's a very honest person. Some people are like that. First of all, if you want my advice in regards to copyright, in any case, what you should do is A. Send me a picture of your copyright notice that you've got. I can't even begin to help you if I don't understand what is the issue. I realize that, yes, some guy flagged something. That is not enough at all to say anything. I don't know what he flagged. I don't know where he flagged. I don't know how legitimate his claim is. I don't know anything. I can't even begin to help you because you have failed to provide me with the very basic information. I mean, look at this video that I made, right? It's what? 10.5 minutes long. Do you think that if this could be summed up in a single word, that I would speak for 10.5 minutes about what to do and why and when? No! No! Also, the old menu looks so slick now that I look at it. I mean, I look at the current menu and I look at the old menu. Shit, I want the old menu back. It looks just just look at it. It's so much better. Like, look, everything you need, left side, right there. Fuck, you can even upload shit from this place. Now I look at this and it's like, well, if you want to access something in particular, you have to click at least twice. Anyway, back to the issue at hand. So that's the first thing that you need. You need to show me the claim so I can see what is claimed. I need the link to the video that has been claimed so I can check that indeed it is a claim that seems fake, so I know that that thing that he's claiming is there is not there, right? And then you mention some sort of website, but you failed to link me to the website. Streamer with double M, you know, maybe streamer with double M is fairly rare organization. Even though I wouldn't say. I would say that it's very easy, for example, to confuse it with streamer with 1M or something. But there's plenty of organizations that have like ambiguous names that there's no way for me to know that, you know, you're referring to this or that website. And yeah, just give me all the links. Don't just say, oh well, there's a website out there in the internet. Have fun looking for it. Anyway, what I have found, which is likely to be related, because it does involve streamer with double M, is that there are quite a few people that have been flagged by streamer on various videos which seem to contain at best music of video game variety, which makes it extremely unlikely that streamer would have any rights to it. Most of the time, if it's that kind of stuff, that it will be flagged by the publishers themselves. Stuff like Nintendo. You would see that flag you. You wouldn't see some streamer. But what else I found? I took a look at the website. Well, it doesn't look fake to me. It seems to be missing a few parts, but that could be negligence. It seems like a very basic website rather than a fake one. This looks like, you know, it's a very simple website. I've seen this kind of layout. It's missing a contact us page. It says contact us, code goes here. Wait, for those that don't know, it's a very common thing to have these kind of... This is basically the message that you have by default on the frameworks that are usually used for websites. Usually these frameworks have these basic forms for various websites, like home, and in this case contact us. When they're generated, they have this line, name, code goes here. And this is exactly the line, so it's just been generated with some sort of framework, but it was never actually worked. Could be negligence, could be fake, I don't know. But what I did find is that this guy on the forums, yeah, he took a look at their copyright statement, which has a very, how to put it, real address. 1234 fictional road suit hash 5432. Yeah, fictional road suit. I'm sure that's very legitimate. Also, it is a subsidiary of Rivers Companies Incorporated, and he went through the trouble of taking a look if such a company exists on all the state records and business records, and he has failed to find it. So yeah, all the evidence points at this being a very much a fake website. I don't know still if it's a fake website. I don't have any experience with this kind of thing myself. Personally, I wouldn't like report him, but just, well, see, I don't want to just say dispute the claim, because I have no idea what you actually uploaded. Maybe you did upload something copyrighted, and he just happened to be the one to claim it. I don't know. How am I supposed to give you any kind of advice if I don't know what the fuck did you do? If you give me all those things, I may be able to help you out in more detail. But if you do want to give me those things, then contact me on my Twitter page, or if you really have the Facebook page. Don't write comments in there. because I can't reply. As I mentioned, I don't have Google+. Alright, that's it. All the comments for today. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later.